How's it going, everyone? This is MOS and in this video we're going to be taking a look at a viewer-submitted gameplay of a Psylocke player. I asked on the YouTube channel on the community tab to submit your replays if you are willing to have a breakdown done. So we had someone who was brave enough and they sent one in. Let's see what we get into. So the first thing I'm always going to be taking a look at, and of course, since we're watching this as a replay, we know what the enemy team's comp already is, but as a Psylocke player, I want to know who is my number one op. And as soon as I see them, for me, it is going to be Namor because he has a very low mobility and he can be an absolute menace to the rest of the team. So if I can keep him busy and get him to waste his bubble or have him fighting me rather than throwing down squids, then that's going to be a W. So first things first, we did find him right away. We were able to get some damage on this off angle right here. We're kind of a little bit in the back line here. Just trying to get some sort of positioning. As I say that, unfortunately not going to make it back up, but now we have a change of plans going towards the dagger right here. And this is the dagger's worst nightmare. They are now trapped by themselves. Another very slow character, basically just letting themselves die right there. Thor also in shambles right here. He's going to go down. And then also the Groot, single tap, going to go down as well too. We have our Punisher in a crazy like TikTok spot up top, which is not too bad. Also, I will say, not too bad, but now Magic just jumped up on top of him. Now he's in shambles. He's going to be kind of in a weird 2v1 situation, actually getting killed by the enemy Luna, so we're going to be missing our Punisher here. But I do like that we are playing on the back side of this building a good amount. We have the dash so we can get up to the roof. Unfortunately, missing a couple shots there, but at least forced him off of height and going to get the kill, so no harm done right there. But I do like how we are playing for the health packs a lot. Right there, misplay on the enemy team right there, letting the Luna just go down, unfortunately. But this is going to be pretty good, pretty big for us. The dagger, unfortunately, going to be using her ult on point. We've got to back away here for a second. And I will say, as far as going up on here, we're kind of just outlasting the dagger ult. I would prefer to see us go to the right and play down low and play on the off angle so we can try and put some more damage on and assist the rest of our team as far as getting kills. We have our ult as well. Pushing up to the right here, using our invis. This is a little bit of a wild play. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad play because we actually ended up forcing out the Luna ult. So it ends up being a good play. And we're living because we have good mobility with the characters. So that's totally fine right here in a 1v1. This is a hoe play. Honestly, this Namor is a whole hoe, bro. Solo ulting us just to get the kill, but you know what? I guess it's fine. We're sitting at 5-1. It's our first death. We still have our ult. He wasted his ult to get the kill on us because that was a bit insane, but it is what it is. So in a situation like this, if I ever happen to go down, I always want to check the scoreboard because I want to see who's on the enemy team. You can't see who has an ult. In the replays we can, but we wanted to see, has their team comp changed and who do I have to worry about? They still, of course, have Namor. They have the Magic in her ult right now. Not going to get too much value off of that ult right here. Going to be getting forced back. And I will say this is a nightmare situation. Fighting Magic in a small room. We just want to dip out, get to the health pack right here, which we are going to do. We're going to end up giving up this point. So right here, when we're going to give up a point, I don't like pushing up right here. Trying to get ult charge, I suppose it's okay. But the problem is you can get trapped very, very easily. And then a situation like this can happen. We tried to dash out, and unfortunately, we are going to go down. What I would love to see happen instead is if we're going to give up the point, find a spot where you can set up, get all of your cooldowns, and then play with the team rather than trying to force something right there. Because we know for a fact that we're not going to jump in there and try and stall the point or try and fight for the point with our team and try and make it so we can do something there. Just wanted to get a little bit of ult charge, but it's not worth doing right there because we ended up going down. We've got Groot and Thor also both in shambles. That was a good ult by the Venom coming out to get them both down to half health right there, but they are going to get filled right back up, unfortunately, by the dagger. Playing a lot of off angles here. We see Magic on this radar, on these X-ray, I should say, going into our backline right now. So we got to see if our backline goes down. We got to be careful here. And it looks like the Luna is going to go down to the Magic. And this is one of the things too. On our team, if we are playing solo, yes, the Penny could be staying back and trying to keep our healers alive. Absolutely. However, if they are not doing that, which they should be doing it because you can throw down the mines, keep everybody alive, they stand in the mine trap, and if the Thor jumps on it or if the Magic jumps on it, they just explode and everybody has a great day. But if it's not happening, one of the big things for us is we have to try to protect our backline as much as we possibly can, even if, and this is where it gets very frustrating, even if we were having a banger game and we are shredding the enemy team. Because one of the things that can be a huge problem is that even if we're doing our job as far as playing a Psylocke and going for our flanks, and we are getting kills, the enemy team is doing the exact same thing, and they might even be doing it better because what they're doing is getting one healer and then instantly getting a tank, whereas we're just getting a healer, then we're escaping. Gonna get that Namor right there, so huge, easy cleanup right there. So we're going to try, and I would say, at least for me, let's see what happens here with the ult. We're going to get both healers right there, so this is a huge play, and this is probably going to have the other team crumble as a whole. There goes the Groot. Magic still slaying away. It's one of those things right here. Magic just doing her thing. We got to try and slow her down because she wants to do the exact same thing as us. That is their flanker. As far as they're going to be trying to get into our back line and kill our healers, and even potentially try and get after a tank as well too if they're able to. Venom pushing in. Just here. I will say this is probably a place you don't want to be. You got 4 people in there. Venom, strong character. Not that strong though. Against 2 healers and a tank and a DPS. Gonna get the kill on the Luna right there. Let's see if we can get this play right here. So this is actually a good play for us as far as wasting the time of the dagger and also going invis. So the whole time that the dagger was actually turned into cloak, of course they were not healing, and because of that the Groot ended up going down. So it was a good play on our part to force the dagger into being scared. Well, speaking of which, going back to the cloak again, this is so frustrating because like that's the thing. We're not gonna kill the dagger, but what we did do is stop the dagger from healing the tank. So it's still a good play. Okay, it's going to be wrapping back around here. This is one of the things, too, I will say, is we are missing one healer here, but I probably would have tried to stay with the team a little bit more or backed up to try and get a different health pack. Because right here, once again, Luna using her shift and then Dagger also pumping her full of heals with her right click, or sorry, her E ability. You're not going to kill her. Basically impossible. This has to be like an ult situation to get the kill. Also, when Luna uses her snowball or her freeze, that also gives her healing as well too. So basically unkillable. Unfortunately, we don't have the burst damage to insta-kill her before she can heal up. Hang on height right here. We got Namor above us. Going to probably get a health pack right here. So I will say one thing that is very good is that we're playing our life very well, making sure we are getting the health packs and staying alive. But we're also spending a lot of time behind the team. Let's see what happens here. We are gonna get the Groot again. The Groot has been in shambles. We've been on his cheeks the majority of this game. But unfortunately, I will say the Namor turrets just doing their thing, and we find ourselves in overtime here. The Iron Man actually getting a kill on the Thor, so this is actually going to close this out and finish up their run on offense. So not a bad play right there. The Iron Man actually getting the snipe right there for the solo kill and stopping them with only 1 point. So here we are on offense, and the first thing that I'm thinking to myself is, when we walk out for the very first time, does their team comp change? We can see on the replay that yes, they now have a Scarlet Witch, but in the spawn room here, our entire team has no idea what we're walking into. We could be walking into Double Shield, we could be walking into Rocket Punisher, we don't actually know. So we gotta push out and see for ourselves. You see a Scarlet Witch up there, and as I'm playing and as I'm pushing out here, what I'd be doing is trying to identify and memorize who do they have until it actually shows on the scoreboard. I'm not going to be pulling the scoreboard up right here because obviously we're mid-fight. They have a Psylocke as well too, so that's going to be our problem. Their Psylocke is going to try and be in our backline, and this is the moment, I will say, as soon as they have a Psylocke on the team, this is the moment where I would start to play back. Because the reason why I want to play back is to make sure that our healers stay alive. Us keeping our healers alive is more important than trying to kill their healers. And let me explain why. Because if their Psylocke jumps on our healers and then we kill the Psylocke, we get a free pick and our whole team is alive. Versus is if they happen to, let's say, flank us, and their Psylocke jumps on us and they kill our healers, but we try to flank them and kill their healers, if we are unsuccessful, we are now throwing. It's very frustrating because you could be having a banger game and doing so well the entire time. But if they have their 2 healers, you jump on them, you don't kill anybody, you run away and reset. Although you didn't die, if their Psylocke gets a kill, we are the ones that are throwing. It feels very weird to say that, but it is the truth. So what we want to do is try and keep our healers alive and play a little bit of anti-dive. If we were to switch characters right here, we could. That's one of the things too. When you're on a heater, when you're doing very well, when you're popping your ults and you're getting kills, you're living rent-free in this Groot's head, just killing him over and over again. It's very hard to want to switch. And I don't actually think that in this comp we need to switch. It's just a little bit of different mentality. Unfortunately, going down the 2v1 right there, we also have the dancing Luna on point right there. The enemy team now jumping onto the point and now going to be stopping us here for a little bit. Venom in shambles. We'll be trying to make our way back. For the most part here, I will say that the Scarlet Witch has not had much of an impact. But they do have their ult. We can see that on the replay. They just went down though, so we're safe here for a second. He's trying to diff this Psylocke, but she just ran away. Ulting on point. Venom might be in shambles here. I don't know if he's going to live. He does pop his overshield and he does live. I will say that also the Venom has been putting into work as far as trying to just stay alive. This Venom is fighting for his life. Fighting for his life. Trying to stay on point. Everyone was around him that entire time, even before we died. So right here, I'd be backing up, sticking with the team. And the reason why I'd be doing that is because so far, this is one of the things, the flanks have not really been working out. Not because we've been dying, not because we haven't been getting kills, not because we haven't been slowing down the enemy team, but because the same thing is happening to us and we're kind of in a stalemate. And what's happening, this is one of the things too, this is kind of like a hidden stat. I want you guys to take this away. The hidden stat that's happening right now is attention being drawn, or aggro being drawn. When we have our attention pulled by two other characters, or let's say one character or whatever, we are now not contributing to getting our ult charge. Because now, it's every single time we're flanking, we are quote unquote wasting time not getting ult. You get ult over time passively, sure. Oh, hold up. Scarlet Witch, go crazy. Actually, I think this got webbed by Penny right there. Yeah, there they are, just dead on the ground. So, huge play by the Penny. Gonna be able to get the Luna as well right here. Groot again. I think somehow our Luna got the Groot, but hey, we got everybody down basically. All the healers. We got a Psylocke running for her life and trying to get the health pack. They are going to get the health pack, but we do have Snowflake on us as well, so we can actually try and fight this out here. And yeah, this Psylocke is in shambles. Nothing they could really do here besides try and die on point. Not even going to make it to the point. Forcing them back into our entire team. They're just dead for sure. So now the enemy team now has a Namor on the team. And I will say that the Namor, if they're using it defensively for the counter dive, then the Namor is for us. And honestly, we don't mind fighting Namor. But here, now it's even more difficult. This is even more of a reason to sit back, in my opinion, because Namor is going to try and counter dive us with his squids, but also they have Psylocke trying to dive our backline. So now, our dive that we're trying to do, or our flanks to try and get into the backline of the enemy team, is even more difficult because they have the two healers, obviously, and they have Namor's squids, which is straight up don't miss. So if we are trying to spend time going into their backline and trying to get kills, it's basically going to be impossible. You can get people so low, and then you have to run away. It's like, oh, I was so close to getting somebody, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to. And while that is happening, the enemy Psylocke is getting one kill, or helping the rest of their team get one kill. And then everybody's crumbling around you, and you're like, yo, guys, get it together. Like, I'm doing my part. I'm flanking. I'm doing well. And unfortunately, they're falling apart. This is a good play right here, though, I will say. This is a super good play. Also, this guy's a whole hoe. Oh my god, bro. That's 2 solo ults in one game. Bro, this Namor hates you. I'm just going to throw it out there, bro. He hates you. But it is what it is. Let's see if we can get the dagger. We can. And the reason, I'm going to go back here for a second. So this is a super important play that I want to show a second time, because this is a health pack denial 1v1. The Namor could have easily won this fight if he just stood on the health pack and then threw his squids down. As soon as he took a little bit of damage, walked into the health pack, and then gotten the kill. But instead, we walked over it, took it, and won it for free, even with the ult on our head, which is kind of crazy. Here we got another 1v1, unfortunately falling down. The enemy Psylocke definitely going to grab the health pack. Yeah, just got it. You saw on the x-ray there for a second. And here we are kind of resetting. We see the enemy team kind of falling a little bit. They're just walking back in right now. They got a Wolverine on the team right now as well, too. Wolverine in shambles. This guy's a non-issue. Just slam jam. But right here, you know what? We're going to stop here for a second. So the reason why I want to go back here is because although the majority of the game we've been trying our best to get these flanks and get these kills and stay alive, and I will say that we've been doing a very good job of it, especially staying alive. Towards the end of the game, I think we ended up only getting 5 deaths, which is phenomenal. Actually, I think it was the least deaths in the entire lobby. But the thing is here, is there's kind of like a stress test or a limit test that happens towards the end of every single game. And that's why you can be winning and winning and winning, and then all of a sudden, you just lose. And the big thing for sure is going back and trying to keep this Psylocke in check from getting after our backline. Yes, I understand that they're using their ult right here. I fully get that. But if you notice, we just got our ult just now. But I will say, if you notice, the big thing is that the enemy Psylocke is getting free beams on our backline basically the entire game. They're sitting at 26 and 6. We're sitting at 27 and 4. Like, it's a very close race, but if they're able to get in on the back line and get the healers and we can't deny them, it doesn't really matter if we're doing the exact same thing to them, because now it becomes a huge performance test on the rest of our team. Can our team live without healers? Can their team live without healers? Because if they have more sustain or have the ability to stay alive better than ours do, then we're just going to fall, unfortunately. And so the only thing I would have done to try to win this game, if you only have control over yourself, which you do, the only thing I'd try and do is stick with the team more towards the end of the game. As we can see right here, we have 39 seconds left. Unfortunately, the ult is going to whiff. It's not going to catch anybody. And also, the Groot is going to get the health pack, so that is a tragedy. We're basically sitting here in a 3v1, or sorry, a 3v2, and we're going to have to walk away right here. Now, unfortunately, the reason why we have to walk away is because the healers are dead. We had to spend a lot of time going to get health packs, and I will say, if you're someone who plays solo queue, you end up being very self-sufficient. I fully get this. I personally know where every single health pack is on every single map because I had to play like this for a very long time. But the problem here is that now everybody's alive, and I'll say this, if you don't take responsibility for how a game goes, then you can never ever say that you could have played better. So if you think it's somebody else's fault that you lost, then you can never say, well, if you played better, then you could have won. So the only thing you could have done, the only responsibility more that you could have taken is to try and play what I call a sidecar. Playing sidecar to your tanks. What I mean by that is if your tanks push up, you're basically right beside them or a little bit behind them, so you can be extra firepower to try and get the enemy tanks down. You can get your ult charge super fast, and also if somebody jumps on your healers, you're right there to turn around and get those kills. It's one of the things for sure. I found this happening to me so much in the earlier days, as far as earlier days, a month ago. I found this happening to me a month ago so much, where it's like, if I want to play Psylocke, I'm supposed to flank. That's how I felt. Doesn't matter what my team comp is, doesn't matter who's dying around me, doesn't matter who's using their ults, doesn't matter who's winning the fights up front with the tanks, I'm supposed to flank. And because of that, I ended up losing a ton of games, and I basically never died, and I had tons of kills. And it was very, very heartbreaking, because as we can see right here, once again, our dagger in shambles is getting rolled, and we are over here. And I don't think you're a bad person for this. And once again, I appreciate you sending me a loss. We're here to learn. And this is something I had to go through as well too. Trying to get the healers, but that's one of those things. It's just too late. We're already down a healer. They have both their healers up. We got a healing dome on top of their dagger, or they have a healing dome on top of their dagger. We have to run away. The healers are staying alive. And this is not a question of, oh, you should have killed their healers more. It's not a question of trying to kill their healers more. This is a question of keeping your healers alive by killing their Psylocke when they dive on you. So you could have been a counter dive right here. There goes your other healer, unfortunately. Luna in shambles. Thor in shambles. And this is basically GG's right here. You hate to see it. But yes, I would say the main takeaway for sure in this game is if you find yourself getting towards the end of the game. This is something that I've been practicing a lot too. I have tons of matchup charts and all types of things I've been writing out to try to optimize my own gameplay and see what I should be doing in certain comps or what I should be doing against certain players. And the number one thing I've learned for sure is as we get to that limit test or that stress test towards the overtime, towards each checkpoint, everyone is going to be gunning for your healers. Everyone wants your healers dead, because if your healers die, that means there's no Luna dancing. That means there's no dagger ult on point. So if they can kill them before they have a chance to do it, they win the point for free, they get overtime for free, and they probably win the game. So you got to stay back. Even if you're a character who could be running up and you could be flanking, you got to make sure that your healers stay alive. This goes even the same thing if you play Hulk, and you can put shields on your healers. If you play Magneto, you can put shields on your healers. Doesn't matter what you're playing as. Penny, put your nest down, keep your healers alive. You have to, I wouldn't say baby them, but you have to mother them. Does that make sense? And with that, that is going to be it for the video. I really do appreciate the submission. And guys, if you want to see yourselves in a future video, please check out the description of this video to learn how to submit a replay ID. And once again, this is MOS Tricks saying thanks for watching the video and have a great rest of your day.